just thinking about something before. I know one person who has copped this, but just in case you do too, you may come across people that argue that toss about, oh, what do you want to live off grid for? Oh, what do you want to do this? What do you want to do? And then you'll say, well, why is it so good living in the city? And there's a psychological thing that people do, and you need to keep this in mind if you ever get into a bit of a half argument with someone about, what you want to do in regards to living off grid, living self-sufficient or whatever. And that is that there's plenty of people that defend their position, and it isn't necessarily because they feel they're in a good position, or that they're in a better position than you, or even that they like the position. What it is, they don't want to lose face. So they'll defend the position that they're in, even if deep down inside, when the lights go out at night, when if you were to look into their subconscious, when they're sitting there, quiet at night, laying in bed, when they're true to themselves, they know that they don't like their situation. They don't feel that their position's great. But regardless of that fact, regardless of the fact they might not like their position, they feel compelled to stand up for it, back it up, defend it, because they're in it. And people don't want to admit that they're in a dumb situation, that they're getting suckered, that they're being used and abused, that they're being screwed, basically. And they'll do everything to sort of stand up for the situation they're in, because they're sort of defending their honour. Basically, they're defending their character and their honour, and they're standing up for themselves, but they're only defending their position just because they're standing up for themselves, and basically trying to hold their ego intact. And so that may be why that you get some people who, live in the city, and you might say, oh, God blimey, I wouldn't live in the city. And then, before you know it, they're sort of, you're almost having an argument over, oh, you're blooming out there running around out in the woods, they'll be telling you, and you're like, well, you're stuck in here in the matrix as a bloody slave belting away in some, job just to feed some big fat blooming government bureaucrat or corporate blooming, fat cat or something like that. And, it's just keep that in mind, that they may actually know that you're talking the truth. They may realistically believe themselves when they're true to themselves, when they're sitting there alone in the dark. They may honestly know themselves that they're in a shit situation, but they can't admit it to anyone straight out, except maybe close family members, and close friends, because they're just trying to, what they're doing and the situation they're in and the job they have and their lifestyle and how they live, they feel is what makes up part of the character. So in defending that, they're defending themselves, regardless if they truly know that it's actually a shit life. But just keep that in mind in case you ever get someone who really arcs up about how you're running around out in the woods and they got a good life, and you really actually have a look at their life and go, good blimey, this bloke's trapped like a flaming rat on a sinking ship here. How can he like this life, But we all have our own opinions. But look, I hate it when people lie to themselves, and especially when they lie to me, telling me the same lie that they're lying to themselves with.